Hello everyone, welcome to either part 1 or part 2 of my London/Paris trip haul. I've been thinking I might put up the makeup haul portion before this part, the accessories and bags. But as of this moment, I'm not certain. I just knew I wanted to do this unboxing as soon as possible because I have been home for about 4 days already and I have not opened some of these things since I purchased them. What I'm going to do first is talk to you about my actual shopping experience, give you some information that I think is important to know before you go luxury shopping in Europe, and then I will start showing you what's behind me. Even though I'm aware that I am ultimately going to be throwing out most of these bags and boxes, the shopping bags and the boxes that these items come in, I still wanted to bring as many as I could home. So what I did was I either packed the boxes in my carry-on or my checked baggage, and then I folded the shopping bags and placed them at the bottom of the suitcase before I started packing my clothes. Each of my sons ended up purchasing some Air Jordans, some special edition Air Jordans when we were in Paris, and they too wanted to keep the boxes, so that took up a lot of room in their carry-ons, but ultimately it all worked out just fine. When you are traveling to Europe and buying luxury items, you do, as much as possible, want to keep those items in a carry-on because there is a chance that once you go to the tax refund office at the airport, the customs officer may actually want to see the items. So you want to have them easily accessible. And you're going to do this before you check your bags. And don't forget that England is no longer part of the EU, so they do not participate in the VAT refund. However, if you are in an EU country like France, most, if not all, of the luxury boutiques will prepare your tax forms for you. You do have to bring along your passport. I have heard some people say that you just need a photo of your passport, but I just carried mine with me in a money belt around my waist, and I would hand it to the sales associate. They would take it back, do the paperwork, then they would come out and take my credit card, and then when the sale was complete, they would bring me my bag and the tax-free form. And for those of you that have never heard of the VAT tax before, this is a tax that is placed on the items at the time of purchase that you can get refunded to your credit card or in cash when you leave the country. So once I was given this tax-free form by the boutique, I kept them all together in a safe place. And then when we got to the airport, there was a clear as day area for the tax-free forms. There was a line for people that had made purchases outside of France, I think it was. And then there was a side with just kiosks for those of us who had only made purchases within France. But I went into that line because even though I purchased a couple of things in London, because they aren't part of the EU and I wasn't getting a refund, I just went to the kiosk. And then what you do is you scan the barcode for each purchase. You will either see a green light stating that it was accepted, or you will see a red light stating that it was not accepted, and then you have to go wait in that other line for the customs officer who, as I was saying earlier, may want to actually see the items. And a few more things you should note about the tax process is, one, if you shop at the Galeries Lafayette Houseman location or Printemps Houseman, which is where I purchased my Chanel items, you can get an immediate tax refund back onto your credit card or in cash. I just chose to have all of the refunds go back on to my credit card. Now, I have also heard that in some cases you don't get the refund, and in some cases it can take up to a few months to get the refund. So I did all this hoping that I will get some money back, but it's not guaranteed from what I understand. Finally, I have one more thing that I feel is very important to mention. If you are a US citizen and you are coming back from Europe and you have made luxury purchases, your duty-free allowance is only $800 per person. So because there were 4 of us traveling, we obviously had 800 times 4. But I still went over. I went a lot over. And what happens when you come through passport control back here in the US, they will ask you, did you bring home any bags or jewelry? And I said yes, and they said approximately how much, and I told them, and they were like, you know, you only get $800 per person, and I actually did not know that. I knew that there was a per person limit, but I honestly thought it was like $2,500 per person, not $800. So that passport control agent called over another agent who had us go get our checked baggage and then go into a separate room. And in that room, they asked me if I had receipts for everything, and I said yes. And I did not carry any of these packages in their original bag. As I said, I collapsed the shopping bags and I put them in the suitcase. I did have my Dior purchase not in this bag, in the Dior bag, but in a different unmarked, heavy-duty plastic shopping bag that we had gotten from one of the markets in Paris. My husband had gone and bought fruits and waters and got a plastic shopping bag. So it was in a nondescript bag. But I have watched way too many of those airport security shows on the A&E channel to know that you should not lie to Border Patrol customs agents. Because if they catch you, if you lie and they catch you, not only are there huge fines, I have also heard that there can be jail time as well as revocation of your global entry if you have it. So I was not about to lie. They asked me if I had the receipts. I said yes. I took them all out of the front pouch of my carry-on that I had. I handed them the first receipts that came up, which were for my kids' Nike Jordans. And then the agents looked at my boys and were like, hey, did you guys get the new Jordan? And of course my boys said, yeah. And then the agent said, oh, that's so cool. And then they were looking at how much they paid for them. And then they said, yeah, we don't care about this. We just care about the bags and basically what I got. They cared about what I got. I gave them the receipts to Dior. I actually did forget. This was an honest mistake because, as I said moments ago, I would never have knowingly lied. But I did forget to mention the Valentino bag that I purchased in London and the Valentino earrings, even though I don't really think they care about the earrings. I think they just care about bags and jewelry. And by the way, they tax the bags at 9%. 9%. Even though you may be saving some money on the actual item while you're shopping for it in Paris, it's likely not going to be as big of a savings as you think. So definitely do your research. Do more research than I did before you go. We did end up paying about $300 in duties at the Las Vegas airport because I think that we just had a really good rapport with the customs agents, and I was very open about what I had purchased, and they were just very kind and were like, yeah, we don't care about that. Yeah, we care about this. And I don't know how they came to that figure, but I was fine with it. We went over to the cashier, we paid it. I had heard that you could only pay via check, that you couldn't use a credit card to pay customs duties. So I had actually brought a blank check with me just in case, but they did allow us to use our credit card. Okay, I'm starting the unboxing with this bag from Dior because I have not opened it since I purchased it on New Year's Eve. And by the way, if you would like to see a vlog of my entire trip, I will have that linked down below in the description box. I purchased this at the Avenue Montaigne store, which also houses the Dior Museum. As I mentioned in my vlog, I would have loved to visit the Dior Museum. However, the line was extremely long. If you have plans to visit Paris and you want to go to the Dior Museum, I highly recommend purchasing tickets in advance. But we did end up waiting in line for a little bit to enter the store, and let me tell you, it was well worth the wait. I am so glad we went in. The store is amazing. You can see more of it in my vlog. Obviously, the packaging is stunning. I really hope the right bag is in here. As I mentioned, I have not opened this since I bought it. So I went with a Lady Dior. And the reason why I went with a Lady Dior is because, well, quite frankly, I have had my eye on one for a really, really long time. I never purchased one because a good friend of mine who is very into luxury shopping, luxury bags and shoes and clothing and jewelry, once told me that she thought the Lady Dior looked like a grandma bag. bag. She thought it was for little old ladies. And once she said that, I could never get it out of my head. However, the more I would see this bag, the more I felt like it was actually really elegant and timeless. And I was actually walking by the Dior boutique here in Vegas a couple of months ago and saw this bag. I asked the sales associate if I could see it, and I knew I didn't want to buy it right then and there because I was taking my trip a short while later. And so when I saw it again on display at the Dior store in Paris, I asked my sales associate to bring it down for me, and here she is. Oh my goodness, the bag even says Lady Dior. Here is le bag. And the reason why I went for the matte black with the matte black hardware is because I wanted a bag that I could carry and wear either silver or gold jewelry. And this right here is a cute little covering that they put on the, sorry, my dog barged in as I was recording. So I took off the little bag that was around the Dior letters. There's also plastic around each letter. I also feel like the matte black has a little bit more of an edgier vibe, if you can use the adjective edgy to describe a Lady Dior. I just feel like in the matte black, it does have an edginess to it. And then inside is the strap. And when you purchase a Lady Dior, you can customize the strap with 3 free charms. So I went with, of course, the blingy charms. Well, first I got an R for, well, duh, Risa. I got the blingy camellia flower, and then also the blingy Dior heart with a key. So I think what you do is you put, yeah, that like that. And then this one goes on the other side, and then you can wear it as a crossbody. I think most of you know this by now, but I will be turning 50 in May 2023. I will be 50 years old. I did visit London one time back in 1995, but I had never been to Paris. So this was a very special trip for me, and I was going to splurge, and splurge I did. But I'm absolutely in love with all of my purchases. Also from Dior, but not at the same location, I purchased these earrings at the airport, the Charles de Gaulle airport, where they already have the VAT removed. I bought these earrings right here. I showed them on my Instagram story the other day. I absolutely love them. And to give you an idea of the price difference, if you were to go onto the Dior US website, you would see that these earrings retail for $590 plus tax. However, at the Charles de Gaulle airport, they were 415 euro. And at the moment, 415 euro translates to 442 US dollars. So think about that, $590 plus 8 to 10% tax, depending on where you live. I felt like I was getting a pretty good savings there. So since we're on the subject of earrings, I cannot believe I bought 3 other pairs of earrings, especially since I did say, and I'm eating my words right now, I said in the video that I did back in December, or maybe it was November, where I talked about my luxury purchase regrets, I said that I regretted purchasing some Chanel earrings that I own because I just feel like they are overpriced and they're easily duped. And at the time I made that video, I truly thought I was never going to splurge on any more designer luxury jewelry. These teardrop Bottega Veneta earrings though are sterling silver. They're currently out of stock almost everywhere in the US. When I was in London, I went onto the Bottega Veneta website to see if they were available in any boutiques there, and it said that they were sold out countrywide. I did ask when I was at Harrods and they said no. Every time they get one pair in, they sell immediately. So I looked on the France website because I knew I was going there next, They had one pair at one boutique in Paris. I was on a mission to get these earrings and I'm so glad I got them. I absolutely adore them. I'm not sure if I said this already, but they are sterling silver. I did end up leaving the Bottega shopping bag behind. Now I'm sort of wishing I hadn't, but I knew I wanted to take the box home and this pouch. It's actually split into two sides, so you can put one earring on each side so they don't knock together. That's pair of earrings number 2. Pair of earrings number 3 are from Valentino. I follow this beautiful model, Leonie, and this woman is so extra and glamorous. I love it. She is living like a dream life. Of course, social media isn't always reality. You never know what's going on behind closed doors, but from what she puts out on social media, her life is fabulous. And I happened to see this photo where she's wearing clearly a gold dress. And when you're wearing that much sparkle, you're really not sure how much more sparkle you should add with your jewelry and your bag and your shoes. So I'll be honest with you, I kind of wanted to recreate her look here with the Valentino bag and the earrings. And I also loved that she added even more sparkle with this bag, which is even more stunning in person. So here she is. Oops, I don't want it to snag on the dust bag. I know this is not everyone's taste, but it has my name all over it. It had my name all over it. So this bag also has a strap that you can attach. I'm not sure if I ever will use the strap attachment. I really like just holding it like this. I will say though that the bag is a little bit difficult to close if you don't have stuff in it filling it up. On New Year's Eve, I only carried a lipstick and some blotting powder, and it was a little bit difficult to close. On New Year's Eve, when I was carrying this bag, I could not stop looking at it. Every time I glanced over at it, I just had the biggest smile on my face because I just loved it so much. I'm gonna put it right back here. Let's get to the final items from my haul. I purchased 3 things from Chanel, and no, I did not buy a handbag. And I know that is going to shock and perhaps disappoint some of you. Unless something absolutely blows me away, I'm not going to spend that kind of money on it. I am lucky enough to already own 2 Chanel bags. I have a boy bag and I have a Chanel 19. I love them both. Would I someday like to own a classic flap, a Chanel classic flap bag? Sure I would. Would I have saved a good amount of money had I purchased it in Paris? Yes, but I had already purchased all of these other things and I just didn't feel like that was the trip to buy one. I did, however, buy a pair of shoes, some earrings, and sunglasses. I have not opened the shoebox since I purchased them either. So let's open up these shoes. A little card that says chaussures, which I believe means shoes. And here we go. Here is the shoe. Let's take this out. I saw these on display and I immediately fell in love with them. The heel is actually not as high as it appears. That's another one of the things I liked about them. They are only about a 2.5, maybe 3-inch heel. And I'm used to wearing, 4-inch heels, but as I've gotten older, I've been suffering with some back pain, so very high heels are not in the cards for me anymore. I do have one other pair of Chanel heels, and I actually find them to be very comfortable. I really love the classic Chanel camellia flowers on the front, and then of course the CC logo on the side. They fit me absolutely perfectly. I cannot wait to wear these. And then the earrings you may have seen if you follow me on Instagram. I posted some photos or some video the night that we went on our dinner cruise along the Seine. And I was actually wearing this blouse. I purchased this before the trip. I just felt like it had very Parisian vibes. So I wore it with some wide leg black pants. And had it not been raining and had I not been struggling with some back issues during the trip, I definitely would have worn these shoes with the outfit. But back to the earrings. I did wear the new Chanel earrings. I spotted them in the store and it was kind of like with the Valentino bag. I could not take my eyes off of them. And then these sunglasses were a total impulse purchase. I have told myself for years that I was not going to buy luxury sunglasses because I have a tendency to lose them or break them. But back in 2019, my family and I went on a cruise, and I purchased, again, just on a whim, some Fendi sunglasses that were very pricey, and I still have them. I actually still have them. I started trying on the sunglasses at Chanel while the sales associate was going in the back to get my shoes and wrap up the earrings. So I tried on a couple different pairs, and my husband said that these were the winner, that I should get them. And these are a very different shape for me. I don't typically wear this sort of cat eye. I thought the pearls on the side were a nice touch. So here they are. It's a good thing you can't see the back of my hair right now because it is a hot mess back there. I'm also wearing pajama bottoms with this. These are the 3 items I purchased at Chanel. And then lastly, I purchased a couple of belts. One for myself from Celine and one for my mom from Fendi. I had been seeing a lot of fashion bloggers, vloggers, content creators wearing this Celine belt. And each time I would see it, I kept wanting it more and more. So I went for it. I purchased the size 85 because I wanted to wear it with high-waist pants and high-waist skirts. As you can see here in this photo, it was the perfect finishing touch for this outfit. And then because I knew my mom wanted a Fendi belt, I did pick this one up for her at the Fendi boutique. And with her permission, I'm going to share with you a little video that I took of me giving her her present from Fendi.
This is a gift for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. That's an opening.
Unboxing.
What do you call it when you...
An unboxing. He said it was not a box. It's in a bag. It's in like a cover. I just pull it out from the middle. I just hope it fits.
Yeah, well, I figured I could... Oh, look how pretty.
Show it off. Show it off. I'll have to try it out when you get home.
Okay.
You like it? That's
Yeah.
what you said you like.
Yeah, I do.
All right. I hope you love it.
Usually I was cleaning up piss all week long. What do I get for that?
Next time.
I was
Next
cleaning
time.
poop and piss and walking them outside. And
This is
I
on
get
video, Dad. This is going to go to YouTube.
great.
So that is it, my handbag and accessories haul from my trip to Europe. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. As some of you who follow me on Instagram may know, I did struggle a little bit with whether or not I wanted to do this video, but so many of you told me that you really wanted to see what I got and give yourself some ideas for future purchases for yourself, whether you buy them here in Vegas or on a trip to New York or on a trip to Europe, or if you're wanting to splurge on one item, a gift for yourself, for whatever reason. I've just been told that many of you find these videos enjoyable to watch and helpful. So if you did find this video enjoyable and or helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I will be posting a makeup haul. I have a ton of makeup here that I also purchased on my trip. And if you'd like to see that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are not already and hit the notification bell. So hopefully YouTube will let you know when I upload a new video. If you have any questions about anything I've shown you here today, please do not hesitate to leave them for me in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.